Hello, listeners and my viewers all over the world. I welcome you to my YouTube channel. My name is Dr. Daniel Otto, your regular anchor on the Daily Positive Living Principle channel. Please, if you have not subscribed before, or you are watching for the very first time, please subscribe, share, and make comments on the comment section below, because we need to have your feedback response. And if you like this video, please give it a thumb. Press the like button and hit the notification button. So by sharing a new video, it will be shared to you directly and you will be notified on the spot. Because on this channel, your life will not remain the same again. We are committed in taking your life to the next level. Remain blessed and God bless you. Hello, viewers, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome you to today's episode on the Daily Positive Living Principle channel. I am your regular anchor, Dr. Daniel Otto. I'm telling you, we are on into an interesting episode, and I can tell you, your life will not remain the same again. We are in the episode of the antidepressant therapy. There is no better time to talk on this topic, antidepressant therapy, than now, because of why the world now is infested with constant negative news, and which can keep you on a depressive mood. Excessive depressive disorders, with anxiety disorders, with so much of mental illness and disorders that is infused on everybody. And so the ability to take yourself out of this mood into a level where you can be operating with focus and concentration is what we need in this hour. So we are into this interesting episode, and I can tell you, your life will not remain the same again. We started last episode with the 4 Ds of demonic strongholds, where evil one keep you on a stagnant position. These 4 areas, we need to deal with it if you need to exit depression. And these are the 4 Ds we talked about in our last episode. And they are under the antidepressant therapy series. Number 1 we talked about last week was distraction. Number 2, discouragement. 3, depression and delay. These 4 areas, if you can handle them in your life, I tell you, you cannot be kept on a stagnant position. You are ready to move forward and be shifted onto a new dimension. That is why we are talking on this topic. And I tell you, follow me gently on this channel, and I tell you, you are moving to the next level. We started on last week about what distraction is. We talked about antidepressant therapy, the 4 Ds of demonic strongholds, and distraction and the causes of distraction. If you have not listened to that episode, please, I'd like you to subscribe to it and then refer back to the last episode so that you can continue and be able to refresh your memory to understand what we are doing here in this episode of today. Today, we'll be talking about the effect of distraction and then strategies on how to overcome distraction. If any man or woman is able to handle distraction, I'm telling you, you are ready to move forward to the next level. In our last episode, we talked about distraction as a way of definition is a process of diverting your focus and concentration for your desired area of operation. Once a man is distracted from his focus, where you need to do what you need to do, where your vision is, you are distracted from that, it is serious. And so we talked about it. There are numerous causes. And because of the time we don't have, we don't need to go back to that. You can refer back to the last episode on what we are talking about. Today we are going to talk about the effect of distraction. The main focus of distraction is to cause you from reaching your goal, from manifestation. Once you are distracted from your focus and concentration, you will not manifest. And in life, manifestation, results, and outcome is the reason why we do things on a daily basis. We are in the generation of results. We are in the generation of proofs. So if you don't have proofs in your life, I'm telling you, it's as useless as not being born at all. People do not celebrate age. We celebrate results. We celebrate grace. So one of the targets of distraction is to prevent you from having results, to prevent you from manifestation. So if you cannot manifest, if there is no outcome, if there is no output, if there is no impact, if there is no result in your life, you are as good as nothing. Superfluity of nothingness. That is what we call it. What are we talking about? That is one of the effects of distraction. Distraction is out to prevent you from manifesting, prevent you from results, having outcome, having output, having impact in your life. An impactless man is a useless man going nowhere. And this world, we are living for impact. We are living for legacy. Let me tell you, impact is better than income. Legacy is better than just vacancy. That's what we're talking about. So, that is what distraction is targeted at, so that you will not arrive at where you are. What are the effects of distraction? Distraction prevents you. It paralyzes your motion, paralyzes your unction, paralyzes your vision, paralyzes your speed in life and destiny. So what are we talking about? That is another major effect of distraction. It's targeted about your motion, targeted about your vision, targeted about your speed in life. Once a man is reduced in speed, I'm telling you, you will not enjoy where you see yourself. And that is what distraction is. What are the effects of distraction? It targets you from having a proactive life. Once you are not proactive in life, once you cannot forecast where you are going, you are doomed and you are stagnated in one position. So one of the major effects of distraction is to make you not to be proactive in life. Once you are not proactive, you'll be waiting for conditions to happen to you. And life should not be happening to you. You should happen to life. Many people allow life to happen to them. They sit until they are rested. But the issue is you should happen to life. You should determine what life brings to you. And you should be proactive at any point in time. You should be thinking ahead. When a man is not thinking ahead, you are rested. And that is what we are talking about as the effect of distraction. So, what are other effects of distraction? Distraction in the area of transport and communication. The major reason why we're having a lot of accidents on our road is as a result of distraction. You can imagine when a driver or a pilot is distracted, or a rider is distracted from concentration and focus. The end result is disaster. The major causes of accident on our road. Remember, one of the things that requires focus and concentration is driving. Many people don't know. One of the things, when you are on the steering, when you are on the wheels, you need total concentration. You need focus. Every of your being needs to be focused on one side. But once a driver is distracted from this focus, the end result is disaster, fatal accident. Many lives have been lost as a result of distraction. No wonder the road safety people, they caution against people when on the wheel, when driving, not to be using phones because of distraction. And there is an offense that is attached to it, which is punishable. What are we talking about? Once you are distracted, a driver or a pilot is distracted from his focus, concentrating on what he's doing, the end result is fatal. And so many things are happening in that area of transport and communication. In fact, poor communication most times is also as a result of distraction. Distraction, one of the effects of distraction, it causes productivity loss. Once you are distracted, your production is low. And once your productivity is low, it means your outcome will be very poor. And it can lead to poverty. A lot of people are poor because of distraction. What they need to do for a small period of time, they will not be able to do it. And so it affects economy. In fact, economy of a nation can be affected by when people are distracted from their focus. And so when there is productivity loss, there is also poor outcome, poor economy, and poverty. In the area where you talk about domestic effect of distraction is very, very key. A lot of things that we waste at home as a result of distraction. In fact, many houses have been burnt down because of distraction. You can remember when a person puts water on fire and is distracted. He forgets the water or forgets and on the either gas cooker or whatsoever he's using to cook his or her food or boiling water, and he will just leave it like that and is distracted and he doesn't know what is happening. Many houses have been razed down. Many things have been burned. A lot of wastages. Why? Because of what? Distraction. One of my friend told me a story. He was boiling water just to take a tea, and he forgot he was distracted, and so forgot the water on the gas cooker, and that was how the thing lingered till the following day. The end result was total house was burnt down, was razed down. Distraction. It has caused a lot of calamities. What are we talking about? Even in the house, once you are distracted, wherever you keep things, you forget about where you keep some things. Some people will keep some things and be looking for it for 6 months and thinking that it was an armed robber or somebody stole the thing, not knowing that they were distracted and they kept it in a place and they forgot about it. One of the things distraction will do is to cause forgetfulness. You forget about what you are doing, and so it leads to absent-mindedness. Anything you keep under absent-mindedness, it will be very difficult for you to remember. In fact, it will lead you to forget. You forget what you have put in that place. You will try to remember, you cannot remember. That is what I mean by forgetting, not even forgetting. Because forget is the past tense of forget. So what are we talking about? Distraction has a lot of problems. Home accident, gas explosion, all as a result of distraction. Spending more than necessary as a result of what? Distraction. Intellectualism. Once you are distracted, even performance in academics is reduced. That's what we're talking about. Distraction will cause you to have poor retentive memory. And when you have poor retentive memory, you cannot perform as you are supposed to be. Because what intelligence is a retention, ability to remember things that you have come across, ability to remember things that you have read is what makes you to be intelligent. But once you are distracted, it will cause reduction in retention of memories. And once you cannot retain memories, your ability to solve issues, your ability to take decisions, your ability to move to another level is reduced. So, performance in examination, assignment will also be the end result. So you begin to perform low performance in assignment, in examination, in anything they give, there will be low output. Ability to learn and relearn is based on intelligence. Once this is not done, you will see yourself going back because of distraction. So what are other effects of distraction? In the family, a lot of divorce, a lot of separation is because of distraction. Once a man or a woman is distracted from concentrating on the family, oh my God, you will realize that that family there will just be contact, but there will no connection. Once there is no connection, that marriage is bound to fail. So what are we talking about? Once you are distracted, your marital output, your family life will be distracted, and it will lead to anything is possible, either divorce or separation, and then loss of communication. Even people that are distracted, if you see them in appearance and dressing, it's another serious issue. Some people appear shabbily when they are distracted, and their outcome is poor. Even in the banking industry, many people have been distracted, and before you know it, a banker will be counting, or a cashier will count money in excess and overpay some people. At the end of the day, he will be left to paying back that money because of distraction. So distraction is a serious matter that needs to be tackled. Another major effect of distraction is on health. Distraction has a tremendous effect on our health. Do you realize that so many people that die even in the hospital is not actually their time? Most of the time, it is because of distraction on the part of the health workers, of the medical personnel. So many, if a health worker is distracted, There are so many things that can happen. Wrong administration of drugs can be as a result of distraction. Many people have been given wrong drugs as a result of distraction. In fact, some health workers have injected people with drugs that have caused allergy and they have died just because of distraction. Some people have even exchanged results in the lab. There are false positive, false negative that people have exchanged results. The result that you didn't come with because you went to the lab and the lab man was distracted. Oh, he exchanged your result. You were not hepatitis positive, but you came there and they gave you a result that is hepatitis positive. So many people have died. So many people have been hypertensive. You can imagine a nurse one day was diluting an immunization BCG and kept the diluent the same place with an insulin. Instead of using the diluent for BCG, he used insulin as a diluent and diluted it and gave it to a child. That child died on the spot. What are we talking about? There are so many distractions that is so disastrous in the health industry. So many people have died. Some people have given injections that contain sulfonamides, that contains things that people are allergic to, and they have died in the process. Even when some people are administration, and then their colleagues was even distracting them, in the process they forget to look at the patient, and at the end of the day, the patient died because of distraction. So there are so many effects of distraction. It has caused a lot of issues, and that is why we are talking on this topic. Because you can imagine when a surgeon is distracted in the theater, so many things can go wrong. You can imagine when a nurse is also distracted, anything can go wrong. In fact, other drugs, people have given drugs that are meant for one patient and given to another patient, and it's disaster. So what are we talking about? These are the things we are talking about and are the effects of distraction. Now, what we are going to talk about is what are the strategies for us to overcome distraction. After talking about the effects of distraction, we are now going to talk about strategies on how to overcome this distraction. And you know, strategy is a military word used by generals. It's a tactical planning things that are used by generals on how to overcome battle. Distraction is a serious battle. We need strategies to overcome distraction. If not, we'll end up in tragedy. And that is why we are talking about it, because if you can get this thing right, and you become focused, we will begin to have results. What are the strategies of overcoming distraction? Number one is to decide to put yourself in a distraction-free mode. You need to build habits that will help you to eliminate distraction and stay focused. You have to start by creating an environment in which you are less tempted to get distracted. That is what I mean by putting yourself in distraction-free mode. Every journey starts by decision. If you have a lot of distraction around your side, you need to settle down and decide on what to do. So put yourself in a distraction-free mode. Start building habits that will make you to create an environment where you'll be less tempted to be distracted. What are those things? What are those habits? You constantly begin to engage in activities. For example, you can close your door to your office, to anybody that wants to come and cause you distraction. You can even put a noise cancelling headphone. There are headphones that you put that noises cannot be entering into you because noise is a distraction. You can turn off your phones if need be. No wonder even in developed countries, they will tell you, people that are serious at work, they will tell them not to even carry phones when they are working until you finish from work, and after working hours, you can then go and collect your phone. Those are devices to put you in a distraction-free mode. What are we talking about? You can lock yourself inside or turn anything off that causes a distraction. These are the things we'll talk about. Go to a quiet environment. You can decide to pack yourself into a place that is quiet. One of the things that made me to become a doctor today was because I put myself in a distraction-free mood. When we were reading for one of our exams that will make us to qualify and enter into medicine for remedial school, I needed to pack myself, take myself out of those distractions and go to a quiet place in the bush where I can read for 14, 16, 18 hours without distraction. And the end result is where I am today. What am I saying? Put yourself in a distraction-free mood. Anything that could make you to be less distracted, do it. And that is what we are talking about. So you can also apply prioritization as a way of strategy. What do you mean by prioritization? We are faced with so many things to do on a regular basis. So many tasks facing us here, activities here and there, what to do. You need to prioritize based on the level of importance. Take the ones that are more important first. Apply yourself, do things, take a task a day at a time. By the time you jumble them and want to chew them at the same time, you will not move anywhere. You will be paralyzed. That is why we must learn prioritization, especially in this end time. Try to plan, try to prioritize. Order of ranking, you can rank them. You take one at a time. The more important, number one, and the less important follows. And that is how it is. By the time you give yourself all this, you will know that you begin to achieve one by one, and you are taking a step at a time. If not, by the time you chew all of them at the same time, you are faced with stagnation. What other things are we going to do as strategies? Give yourself deadline with shorter time frame. This is very, very key. If you don't give yourself deadline, you will think that there is time. You'll be wasting time unnecessarily. What did Parkinson's law says? Parkinson's law says, and I quote, he says, work tends to expand to fill the time we have available for its completion. That is, what does that mean? That is, we usually fill any time remaining with distraction. If you don't put time to anything and give it a deadline, you will waste all the time if you give yourself a larger time period. So set deadline with shorter time frame. Give yourself what you need to do, just hours, and you can put yourself to it. You can even give an agreement to yourself, tied to another person, so you can finish it with that shorter period. Have a deadline. Develop, when you excuse yourself from this distraction, you develop a laser-like focus so that you can now begin to administer. These are the things we're talking about. And these are the things, if you begin to apply them, you will move on to the next level. So what are other strategies of overcoming distractions? Another strategy is controlling your mind. You need to be able to control your mind. A man is a tripartite being made up of the body, the soul, and the spirit. One of the departments of the soul is called the mind. Both the conscious and the subconscious mind is very, very important. A Harvard study has shown that 50% of our time, we use it to think of something else other than where we are going or what we are doing. So to be able to be focused in life and to have concentration, you need to bring your mind back on track so that you can have concentration. And that is what your mind can do. The mind is like a computer. It's like a software that is programmed. Anything that is programmed there will be able to work better. So when you program your mind for a control, when you notice distraction, bring it back on track. So control of the mind will help you to be able to be focused and to concentrate in life. Focus and concentration. What other strategies are we talking about? You should be able to train your brain to master concentration. The brain is like a muscle that needs to be trained. So you need to train your brain to be able to function well. So these are very, very important. One of the methods that you can use to train your brain so you can master concentration is what we call the POMODORO method. What do I say it? Pomodoro method. That is POMODORO method. That is, what does that mean? It is like allocating a time period so that you can concentrate with that time frame, with even a use of a timer. You can time yourself, give yourself 30 minutes, 1 hour, and you tell yourself you are going to be concentrating for this number of time. That is what we mean by POMODORO method. And practice make perfect. Once you begin to train your brain, the brain will begin to function well. Do you know that the brain that God has given us, most of us have not even used up to 5% of our brain. If we can use up to even 20% of the brain that God gave us, I'm telling you, you become the best. We will be having all manner of innovations. And these things come because of distraction. Once your brain is distracted, you will not be focused and you will not be productive. What am I saying? We need to begin to train our brain for adequate concentration. This is very, very key. What other strategies are we talking about? Take on more challenging work. Take on more challenging work. Most of the time, once we are distracted, it means that you are not taking a challenging work. Once you see distractions around you, go for more complex job so you can take it and challenge yourself for a better outcome. It makes you to be more focused and have concentration. That's what we're talking about. What other things are strategies? Break the cycle of stress. Stress. There are so many things every day on our daily basis. There are stress all around us. So bringing your stress under control will help you to be focused. That is what we're talking about. Bring your stress under control. Get enough rest. Practice breathing exercises, what we even call Vasovagal maneuver. What are we talking about? You breathe in some exercise so you can relax yourself and reduce your stress. Find ways to contain your anxieties. Take some time out and relax so that you can reduce those stress. Those are what we are talking about, Vasovagal maneuver. What other things are we talking about as strategy? The rest of faith. Faith is the opposite of fear. Once you put your trust on God, relax, and then you rest. Not that when you put your trust on God, you are still worried about the same problem you took to God. What are we talking about? The rest of faith. That was what made Peter to be able to survive tension, anxiety, stress, and distraction when he was put in prison. What are we talking about? The rest of faith can make you to be calm when there is distraction. As I begin to round up on this session of the effects of distraction and strategies to overcome, let me tell you this story. One day, a man was booked for surgery in the theater and was booked for amputation. As a result of severe diabetes, this man's left leg became gangrenous. It became useless. The thing was being eaten up. The leg wasn't eaten up from the toe down to the hip. So the leg was built and booked for amputation. So this man was prepared for surgery. Guess what happened? Everything was done and the man was put on the theater table. What happened at the end of the day? The surgery was performed. Everything was concluded and he was taken to the recovery room. Guess what happened? At the end of the day, it was discovered that it was the right leg that was amputated. The normal leg was amputated. The leg that was gangrenous, the leg that was useless, that was supposed to be amputated, was left alone. Why? Because of a distracted health worker. In the theater, nobody could recognize, right from the theater nurse, the people that prepared him for theater and pre-operative and all that, from the anesthetics to the doctor to the surgeon, all were distracted. At the end of the day, what happened? The man was at the recovery room. When it was discovered that it was the right leg that was amputated, what happened? They needed to go back to theater again for another surgery. Do you know many people that have died is not because of their time, but because of one distraction, somebody that was not focused and was not concentrating one way or the other, that led to that disaster. At the end of the day, double surgery was conducted. Both the left leg and the leg that was bad was cut at the same time, was amputated. This man was left on a wheelchair. What are we talking about? There are drastic and great effects that distraction has caused to us, even in relationship, personally, in hospitals, as a nation. A young boy came to a hospital with hypertensive crisis, hypertension of over 250/150. Young boy. And I asked the question, why? He went to a hospital to do a normal investigation. At the end of the day, he was given a result, hepatitis positive, HIV positive. And you know you can be affected by what you hear and what you see. What makes you fear and what you fear or what you feel is determined by what you hear or what you see. And when he heard this result, oh, his heart jumped, fear set in, adrenaline began to function, and this boy became hypertensive on the spot just by hearing because of what the result that was given. False positive result. He has to take God, cancel him, for us to cancel this boy for him to come back and not die. He went for a repeat result and the result was negative. What are we saying? Distraction has caused a lot of issues. And if you must remain focused, and for antidepressant therapy, we need to deal with distraction in every area of our life so we can be focused and be productive in life. I'd like you to follow me gently because we are going somewhere and I know your life will not remain the same again. I'd like you to subscribe to this channel and make your comments and then help share to others so they can also benefit from what we are talking about. We are going somewhere. God bless you as you hook on to this channel.